Hello, I am Paul Puyal, your guide in answering your module Mathematics 6 1-4 week 4. You have to bring out your pen or pencil, paper, and module to start with this lesson. Are you ready now with these materials? Very good. We are now going to start the lesson. Objective of the lesson. This lesson aims that you will learn to construct and interpret a pie graph based on a given set of data so that you can apply them in your life. You are now in what I know or pretest. Listen carefully to instructions. Letter A. Read and study the data carefully. Construct a pie graph out of it. Write the answer on your answer sheet. So this is Mrs. Gonzalez monthly income expenses. In the first column, you can see there the expenditures, and the next column is amount, the next is percent, and the last column is degrees. Now you are going to construct a pie graph out of this data. You are given 5 seconds to make your own pie graph. Time's up. So this is the pie graph of Mrs. Gonzalez monthly expenditures. Letter B. Use the data in the pie graph that you had constructed to answer the following questions. Write your answer on your answer sheet. Number 1 question. What percent of the monthly income does Mrs. Gonzalez spend on education? Letter A. 37.50%. Letter B. 25%, letter C, 15%, letter D, 12.50%. Time's up. The answer is letter B. It is 25%. Number 2 question. In which categories does she spend the greatest part of her income? Letter A. Savings, B. Food, C. Education, D. Monthly bills. Time's up. The answer is letter B. It is food. Number 3 question. How much does she spend for her transportation? Letter A. 3,000 pesos. Letter B. 4,500 pesos. Letter C. 1,200 pesos. Letter D. 1,800 pesos. Time's up. The answer is letter D. 1,800 pesos. Number 4 question. How much more does she spend on paying for food than monthly bills? A. 1,800 pesos. Letter B. 4,500 pesos. Letter C. 1,200 pesos. Letter D. 3,000 pesos. Time's up. The answer is letter D. It is 3,000 pesos. Number 5. How much does she save monthly? Letter A, 3,000 pesos. Letter B, 4,500 pesos. Letter C, 1,200 pesos. Letter D, 1,800 pesos. Time's up. The answer is letter C. It is 1,200 pesos. You're good if you got a very high score. And if not, don't give up. I'm sure you will learn a lot in this lesson and you will get a very high score in the assessment. You are now in What's In level. Direction. Complete the data in the pie graph below. Use the data found in the table. Write the answer on your answer sheet. So we have here the data, favorite sports of grade 6 pupils. Column A, it is sports. Under it are baseball, SIPA, volleyball, tennis, and basketball. And the other column is the percentage. So I'm going to give you 5 seconds to answer this activity. 5 seconds starts now. Time's up. So this is the answer. Title of the pie graph is Favorite Sports of Grade 6 Pupils. Number 1 is basketball. It has 43%. Number 2 is SIPA. It has 20%. Number 3 is volleyball. It has 15%. And number 4 is tennis. It has 10%. Let's go now to this next activity. The table below shows the percentage of learners who like the given flavors of ice cream. Title of the data is The Most Liked Ice Cream Flavors of Learners. The first column is ice cream flavor. Second column is number of learners. Under ice cream flavor are Rocky Road, Double Dutch, strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate. Rocky Road has 10 learners. Double Dutch has 4 learners. Strawberry has 10 learners. Vanilla has 4 learners. And chocolate has 12 learners. A total of 40 learners. Now, how will you construct a pie graph using the data in the table? Any idea? So let's go now to What Is It level. In this level, you are going to learn how to construct a pie graph. So to construct a pie graph, you may do the following steps. Step 1. Find the angle measure for each section. So as you can see here at the last column of the data is the angle measure. So to get this angle measure, look at the percent of the Rocky Road. It is 25%. Now you're going to change this 25% to decimals and it becomes 0.25 or 25 hundredths. Then multiply it to 360 degrees and that is equals to 90 degrees. The same with Double Dutch. Look at the percent of Double Dutch, that is 10%. Now change this percent to decimals and that it becomes 0.10 or 10 hundredths. Then multiply it to 360 degrees and that is equals to 36 degrees. The same with strawberry. Look at the percent of strawberry, that is 25%. Change this one to decimals and it becomes 0.25 or 25 hundredths. Then multiply it to 360 degrees and that is equals to 90 degrees. Let's go to vanilla. The percent of vanilla is 10%. Change this 10% to decimals and it becomes 0.10 or 10 hundredths. Then multiply it to 360 degrees and that is equals to 36 degrees. Chocolate has 30%. Change this 30% to decimals and it becomes 0.30 or 30 hundredths. then multiply it to 360 degrees, and that is equals to 108 degrees. That is step 1. Step 2. Change the number of learners per ice cream flavor preference to percent form by dividing it to the total number of learners. Then their quotients is multiplied to 100, transforming them to percent form. So here you have here the column of percent. Rocky Road has 10 learners, divided by 40 total number of learners, and that is equals to 0.25 or 25 hundredths. Then multiply it to 100. This is a constant 100, and that is equals to 25%. Double Dutch has 4 learners, divided by 40 total number of learners, and that is equals to 0.10 or 10 hundredths. Then multiply it to 100, and that is equals to 10%. Strawberry has 10 learners, divided by 40 total number of learners, and that is equals to 0.25 or 25 hundredths. Then multiply it to 100, and that is equals to 25%. Vanilla has 4 learners, divided by 40, and that is equals to 0.10 or 10 hundredths. Then multiply it to 100, and that is equals to 10%. Chocolate has 12 learners, divided by 40 total number of learners, and that is equals to 0.30 or 30 hundredths. Then multiply it to 100, and that is equals to 30%. That is step 2. Step 3. Change percent form to decimal form by moving the decimal point 2 places to the left. Then multiply each decimal to 360 degrees. The complete rotation of a circle is equivalent to 360 degrees. So Rocky Road has 25% of 360 degrees. Change this 25% to decimals, and it becomes 0.25. Multiply it to 360 degrees, and that is equals to 90 degrees. Double Dutch has 10% of 360 degrees. Change this 10% to decimals, and it becomes 0.10. Then multiply it to 360 degrees, and that is equals to 36 degrees. Strawberry has 25% of 360 degrees. Change this 25% to decimals, and it becomes 0.25. Then multiply it to 360 degrees, and that is equals to 90 degrees. Vanilla has 10% of 360 degrees. Change this 10% to decimals, and it becomes 0.10. Then multiply it to 360 degrees, and that is equals to 36 degrees. Chocolate has 30% of 360 degrees. Change this 30% to decimals, and it becomes 0.30. Then multiply it to 360 degrees, and that is equals to 108 degrees. Note: if the number of learners per preference is not found and only percent is given, multiply percent by the total number of learners to solve how many learners. Okay, let's see this one. Solving the number of learners. We have here the total number of learners, which is 40. Now we're going to solve the number of learners. Rocky Road has 25%. So change this 25% to decimals, and it becomes 25 hundredths or 0.25. Then multiply it to 40, and the answer is 10 learners. Double Dutch has 10%. Now change this 10% to decimals, and it becomes 10 hundredths. Then multiply it to 40. Then it is equals to 4 learners. Strawberry has 25%. Change this 25% to decimals, and it becomes 25 hundredths. Then multiply it to 40, and that is equals to 10 learners. Vanilla has 10%. Change this 10% to decimals, and it becomes 10 hundredths. Then multiply it to 40, and that is equals to 4 learners. chocolate has 30%. Change this 30% to decimals and it becomes 30 hundredths. Then multiply it to 40 and that is equals to 12 learners. Now if you're going to add all these numbers here, the total is 40. Step 4. Draw a circle using a compass. Now we have here the compass. Use this compass to draw a perfect circle. So this is the output. Step 5. Use a protractor to draw the angle measures of 90 degrees, 36 degrees, 90 degrees, 36 degrees, and 108 degrees. Then label each section. Measuring 90 degrees using protractor. Angle measure of rocky road. So we have here the protractor. Okay, so we have here the 0. Mark a line outside it. Align it to the 0. Then 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 degrees. Then mark a line outside the circle. Then this is the output. Label it rocky road 90 degrees. Next, measuring 36 degrees using protractor. Angle measure of double Dutch. So put the 0 here, line it to the 90 degrees, mark a line outside the circle. So 0 degrees, 10, 20, 30. In between 30 and 40 is 35. Then another one higher. Okay, so this point is the 36. Then mark a line outside the circle. The output is this one. Label it double Dutch 36 degrees. Next, measuring 90 degrees using protractor. Angle measure of strawberry. So here is the protractor. Again, the 0 is here. Start it in the double Dutch. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Then mark a line outside the circle. Then the 0 also, mark a line there. Now, this is the output. Label it strawberry 90 degrees. Next, measuring 36 degrees using protractor. Angle measure of vanilla. Here, binaligtad yung protractor pero parehas pa rin. So you can see here the 0, 10, 20, 30, and the 36. So 36, line outside the circle, then line again here. Then this is the output. Label it vanilla 36 degrees. Measuring 108 using protractor. Angle measure of chocolate. So we have here the 0, the protractor 0 degrees. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Then locate the 108. It is 100, then 108. Mark it outside the circle. So this is the output. Then label it chocolate 108 degrees. So that is already the pie graph. Step 5. Write a title for the graph. Now the title of the graph is the most liked ice cream flavors of learners. Now the pie graph is already finished. Okay, let's go now to what's more level. Instruction letter A. Complete the data in the table below. Do it on your answer sheet. Now I'm going to give you 5 seconds to fill up this data. Time's up. So this is the answer key of A. Construct a pie graph using the data of the table. Do it on your answer sheet. Again, you have 5 seconds to construct your pie graph. Time's up. So this is the pie graph. The title is Learners' Means of Transportation Going to School. Letter B, instruction. The pie chart below shows how a grade 6 learner spends his day. Refer to the pie chart to answer the following questions. Hint: 1 day equals to 24 hours. Write your answer on your answer sheet. Number 1 question. What percent of the day is used by the learner in doing the household chores? Letter A, 20%. Letter B, 34%. Letter C, 12%. Letter D, 25%. Number 2 question. In which category does the learner spend most of his time? A, household chores. B, sleeping. C, playing gadgets. Letter D, study. Number 3. How many hours of the day does the learner use gadgets? Letter A, 6 hours. B, 8.16 hours. C, 2.88 hours. D, 1.92 hours. Number 4 question. How many percent does the learner spend in studying the lesson? Letter A, 20%. B, 34%. C, 12%. Letter D, 25%. Number 5. How many percent does the learner spend in doing other things? Letter A, 20%. Letter B, 34%. Letter C, 6%. Letter D, 25%. You have 5 seconds to double check your answer. Time's up. So this is the answer key of letter B in what's more. Number 1 is letter A, or 20%. Number 2 is letter B, or sleeping. Number 3 is letter D, or 1.92 hours. Number 4 is letter D, or 25%. And number 5 is letter C, or 6%. What have you learned in this lesson? These are the things you have learned in this lesson. Number 1, constructing and interpreting a pie graph. Number 2 is steps in constructing a pie graph. Okay, for information, pie graphs or circle graphs are used to show the percent of a quantity in each of the several categories. It can also be used to easily visualize the ratio of one category to another. So here is steps in constructing a pie graph. Number 1, find the angle measure for each section accordingly by their percentage. Number 2, draw a circle using a compass. Number 3, use a protractor to draw each angle measure and partition the circle, then label each section. Number 4, write a title for the graph. You are now in what I can do level. Letter A, direction. Construct a pie graph based on the given data below and answer the questions that follow. Write the answer on your answer sheet. Okay, the table shows the favorite fruits of 300 grade 6 learners of Escalante Central Elementary School. You have 5 seconds again to make your pie graph. Time's up. So this is the answer. Okay, let's continue. Letter B, direction. Answer the questions correctly. Write your answer on your answer sheet. I'm going to flash the 5 questions. Afterwards, you have 5 seconds to recheck your answers. Then I'm going to pause the answer keys. Number 1. How many percent of grade 6 learners like guava fruit? Letter A, 20%. Letter B, 10%. Letter C, 50%. Letter D, 5%. Number 2. How many learners like eating bananas? A, 45. B, 30. C, 150. D, 60. Number 3. What is their least favorite fruit? A, banana. B, mango. C, avocado. D, apple. Number 4. What fruit is favorite by half of grade 6 learners? A, banana. B, mango. C, avocado. D, apple. Number 5 question. How many more learners prefer to eat apples than avocado fruit? A. 45, B. 30, C. 150, D. 60. You have 5 seconds to double check your answers. Time's up. So this is the answer key of B. Number 1 is letter B or 10%. Number 2 is D or 60 learners. Number 3 is C or avocado. Number 4 is B or mango. And number 5 is B or 30. Graph on the following data. Write your answer on your answer sheet. So this is a family budget with monthly income of 20,000 pesos. Education has 20%, food has 40%, transportation has 15%, rental has 15%, and saving has 10%. You have 5 seconds to construct your pie graph. So this is the answer. Check if you have the same pie graph. Assessment letter A number 2. Construct a pie graph on the following data. Write the answer on your answer sheet. The title is Summer Vacation Preference of Grade 6 Learners. Beach has 24%, camping has 12%, mountain climbing has 6%, and stay home has 18%. Again, you have 5 seconds to make your own pie graph. Time's up. This is the answer in assessment A number 2. Check if you have the same pie graph. Very good. Next, let's go now to assessment letter B. Direction. Study the pie graph below and answer the questions that follow. Write your answer on your answer sheet. The title of the pie graph is Dina tracked the time she spent in answering her modules for a week. So we have here English 9%, Science 12%, TLE 9%, Math 16%, ESP 13%, Araling Panlipunan 11%, Filipino 18%, MAPE has 12%. Question number 1. Which of the subjects requires a longer period of time? A. Filipino, B. Math, C. Science, D. English and TLE. Number 2 question. Which of the subjects requires the least period of time? A. Filipino, B. Math, C. Science, D. English and TLE. Number 3 question. If Dina spent 2,400 minutes in answering her modules for a week, how many minutes were spent on A. ESP? Letter A. 384 minutes. Letter B. 432 minutes. Letter C. 288 minutes. Letter D. 312 minutes. Next question. If Dina spent 2,400 minutes in answering her modules for a week, how many minutes were spent on letter B. Science? A. 384 minutes, B. 432 minutes, C. 288 minutes, letter D. 312 minutes. Next, if Dina spent 2,400 minutes in answering her modules for a week, how many minutes were spent on letter C. Filipino? A. 384 minutes, B. 432 minutes, C. 288 minutes, D. 312 minutes. Next,
If Dina spent 2,400 minutes in answering her modules for a week, how many minutes were spent on math? Letter A, 384 minutes. B, 432 minutes. C, 288 minutes. D, 312 minutes. You have 5 seconds to double check your answers. Time's up. So this is the assessment B answer keys. Number 1, it is letter A or Filipino. Number 2, it is D or English and TLE. 3.A, the answer is 312 minutes or letter D. 3.B, the answer is C or 288 minutes. 3.C, the answer is 432 minutes or letter B. 3.D, the answer is 384 minutes or letter A.
Very good job, already finished your assessment. I hope you got a very high score. You are now at the last part of the lesson. You are now in additional activities. Listen carefully to the direction. Construct a circle graph for the following activities. Write your answer on your answer sheet. Number 1, your schedule for your day's activity in the new normal. Number 2, your own budget for a week allowance last school year. Well done! This lesson is already finished. Hoping you have learned something. See you in our next video lesson. Congratulations!